I don't know what Chicago Bears fans did to deserve this. I don't know what I did to deserve this. This team is a pathetic excuse of a coach team. The offensive coordinator sucks. The defensive head coach sucks. The offensive line coach is abysmal. The play calling is horrendous. The defense can't stop a running back to save their life. The tackling was bad today. The wide receivers were bad today. They had no timeouts left with 4 minutes. It was 7 minutes left in the game. It doesn't make any sense what's going on. It's completely mismanaged. And the offensive line is terrible. And then you leave Caleb Williams, the franchise, the future, back in the game. You leave him in the game when the game is completely out of hand. Instead of getting him out and protecting him, then he gets rolled up because he's trying to make a play. Of course he's going to try to make a play. Someone's got to answer for this. Matt Eberflus has to go. Matt Eberflus has to go. And he shouldn't be allowed to coach the rest of the season. I don't care what the historical record is of the Bears and that they always keep head coaches in place because it's who they hired and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. You have to make changes now. You have to make changes now. The team is way too talented and performing this poorly this late into the season. Especially after the performance in London. You thought that the London performance was a nice jumping point for the rest of the season. But then there's no Cole Kmet involved. Cole Kmet had 0 targets today. 0. Finally getting Roma Dunze involved, but not enough. Not enough. And you have backup tackles in, and you got Caleb Williams playing behind practice squad players when the game is out of hand. The coaching decisions don't make any sense. And I've had enough as a Bears fan. We shouldn't have to live like this. I shouldn't be crashing out this way. But everyone has to be fired. Like, at least if Fusi was the damn GM, everyone would be fired. Everybody. Ryan Poles, dude, you better figure this shit out or you're next, dude. They're going to be calling for your head next. And to be honest, with the way the offensive line's playing, and the way your head coach is calling plays, and the way the offensive coordinator's calling plays, all the dudes that you hired, all the dudes that you retained, you deserve to go too here soon. You're lucky you have all this talent around, and it's hard to actually get rid of you. But this team is bad. It's playing bad. We had so much expectation before the season. Best situation for number 1 draft pick of all time. It's not true. Best quarterback prospect in a long, long time. That might still be true, but right now he's not playing like it because the offensive play calling sucks. You had Cliff Kingsbury in the building. And now Cliff Kingsbury looks like a genius over in Washington. And if you had Cliff Kingsbury around, you could fire Matt Eberflus because then Cliff Kingsbury could become the interim head coach. But now you have no one on staff who could be the interim head coach. You can't make Shane Waldron the head coach. You can't make the defensive coordinator the head coach. You can't make the special teams coordinator the head coach. There's no other head coaches on the team. Cliff Kingsbury could have been that guy. He could have been the fall guy. You fire Matt Eberflus, bring him in. The guy up in Detroit, Ben Johnson, wanted to be a Chicago Bear. He wanted to coach Chicago Bears, and you didn't interview him because you like Matt Eberflus and his demeanor. Matt Eberflus stinks. Matt Eberflus stinks. And as a season ticket holder, I'm going to all the games, man. I'm buying the merchandise. This is probably on me. It's probably on me. I buy the merch. I wear the merch proudly. And then this is the reward I get, is to watch this on a Sunday afternoon. Daylight savings is gone. I got to watch this on a Sunday afternoon. It's a terrible state of affairs. The lack of accountability on this staff and on this team is crazy. And Matt Eberflus finally at the halftime is like, oh, I got to do better. No shit, Matthew Eberflus. I got a case of the Eberflus. Fire your ass. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I just want to see a team that's competitive. And we can't even have a team that's competitive. We just get this sorry-ass excuse of play calling and leaving guys in when they should be out. And we got people celebrating last week before the game is over and the Hail Mary happens. Jane Daniels running wild. The division's stacked. The division's stacked. There's no, it's not going to get any better. Drake May ran for 100 yards today and almost won that game in overtime. That's not an easy game next week. I don't know where the salvation is going to come from or when it's going to come. But right now, it is a sorry, sad state of affairs for a professional football team. As fans, we deserve better. I love this team with all my heart. I love them. I want them to be just competitive. Sure, I want to see them in the playoffs and win Super Bowls. Absolutely. But I want to know that I can on Sunday, the day I love having, I can turn the game on and just have some fun and know the Bears are in a competitive game. But all of a sudden, the defense sucks. What are you keeping Matt Eberflus for? He's the defensive guy. He's a defensive guru. He should be out here stopping teams, shutting them down. Instead, at the halftime of this game, went into prevent defense again. After last week's atrocity in the last 20 seconds, goes into prevent defense, and then they run a 50-yard touchdown, and they go up, and they never look back. It is a sad, sad state of affairs in Chicago. And House Hall, you have some reckoning to do. Someone has to answer for this. Someone, and it's got to be public humiliation. Matt Eberflus won't get hired again as a head coach. He won't. He's an okay defensive coordinator. Okay. But he's not a head coach. He hasn't been a head coach ever. I just want to see the Bears be competitive. And I just want to see them be able to have a competent offense. And it feels like the coaching staff is holding them back. It's holding them back. The players didn't execute well, but it's a lack of discipline. The penalties are terrible. Penalties all over the place. Everyone's hurt now. Caleb might be hurt. Who knows? We might get a press conference tomorrow. Oh, Caleb Williams on the injury report. Cool, man. You should have pulled him. Matt Eberflus deserves to be fired, and it's his own reasoning. It's his own fault. I hope the Bears get better. I hope someone's heads on the table for this one. And it should be Matt Eberflus first. But the way I'm looking at it, too, is that Ryan Poles, you could be on that chopping block also. Because you hired Matt Eberflus. And you didn't interview Harbaugh. And you didn't interview Ben Johnson. When you could have. But the Bears are a 1930s franchise. It's not good enough. And it's time for some changes. Fire Matt Eberflus. Claws up, bear down. Subscribe to my channel, please.